the frame right now. Oops. Hello! Alrighty then. Today we're going to be having a look at the Neca Godzilla 2001 Atomic Blast figure. I keep finding these Godzillas and I'll keep buying them as long as they're not doubles, because I don't do doubles. Unless it's something that really is collectible. Then I'll do doubles. Godzilla! Yeah, I'm really eager to get him out of the package. So what do you say we do that? Godzilla's out of the pack. Look at that color. His tail is detached. I guess somebody might have tied some tin cans around it into another Godzilla and made them run apart. Tore their tails off. Anyway, his tail is actually separate. It never comes installed because it's one way they save on the packaging. So we'll have to attach this. It may need some heat. We'll see. Also, he comes with his atomic blast flame, blue inferno flame that comes out of his mouth. And his jaw should open here. Boy, is that tight. But yeah, you can see the little slot inside there. Maybe, hopefully. So yeah, let's get his tail attached and then we'll go through his articulation. This is always fun here. Alright, Godzilla's tail is on. I actually did have to heat it. The way I heat my joints is I just run the hot water in my utility sink over there. It's 190 degrees set at the furnace, the water heater. And just for a couple seconds, and it just pops right on. And once it cools, it just kind of wraps itself back around that ball joint. And a very fit joint. Very nice. This is an awesome Godzilla. Of course, I'm probably going to say that about every Godzilla. And I'm going to bring some more Godzillas in right after we go through his paint and articulation. But I love the paint. Very, very nice. This is a very, very Japanese-looking character. Just looking at his face, the Japanese do something with their characters' faces, and I don't care what it is, whether it be anime or their creatures, their monsters. There's always something very whimsical about Godzilla in particular. Fierce and whimsical. And just something that you kind of want to hold in your hand and have. So let's go through his articulation. Of course, the jaw opens, as you can see. His head will... He's on a two... It looks like he's got a two-part head here. Let me show you that. His head looks like it snaps down into a neck joint, which snaps down into the torso. So you get this movement here at the neck joint into the torso. If you hold that neck joint, you will get some movement in Godzilla's head. So you can really get a lot going there. And again, nice snug joints. And these I'm not going to worry too much about breaking, you know, because the Godzilla is a very, look at that. He's welcoming you with open arms. Welcome home! And a very robust figure, I should say. So you have your elbow joint, which will... It's on a ball joint, so you get a lot of movement there. You get that judo Godzilla happening. And I believe this elbow here is on a single joint. It's tight, but yeah, there you are. You see? There you go. You get just enough movement to create some different posability. Of course, his wrist is on a pin, and you have a hinge. And his fingers, as you can see, are kind of articulated. When I say kind of, I don't know how much I can close them. Oh, I can close them quite a bit, as you can see. And then he has a torso joint here, midsection. It will move, but it'll start looking goofy, but you can get some good posability on that guy right there. And his legs will do a full 360, I think, if we force the issue. There we are. And then you have this knee joint. It's not going to move much. It's going to pivot. No, I'm wrong. There's a giant hinge in there. Let's see. It's just a snug joint. There we are. It's almost like a ratchet, so you can get Godzilla doing the dance if you want. Look at that. There you are. Hear that nice click? That's a great joint. Then you have, if you hold the calf, his foot will pivot all the way around, doing a 360. And you get some rocker motion like so. Now moving down to the tail, it will twist like so at that joint, and then you have another joint, of course, where we snap the tail on. So you get that movement there. And in this section of the tail, there is a wire, so you can actually bend it up. You can literally feel the wire in there, which is nice. Very cool. Very nice indeed. Very cool. So you get a little action happening there with Godzilla. Get him stand straight up like so, as much as you can. And let's not forget the atomic inferno that he's going to be blasting out of his mouth. There's a little slot there, a little blade there, kind of like a screwdriver. And there's a little slot in his mouth. And we just kind of force that in there. Maybe the other way. No, I think I was right. But, there it is. I was right. And there we are. There's something about Godzilla figures with stuff projecting out of their mouth. It's just kind of really cool for me. Just a really nice figure indeed. Now, I got another Godzilla that I actually want to review. So in the meantime, I have 3 of them already open, one of which I did not review. And it was a 1954 Godzilla, but we're going to bring it on the frame right now. Oops. Let me get that shoved in there really good. Yep. Maybe that's better. So I brought some more Godzillas out here into the frame. And here was the first one I found from NECA. This is the 1954 version done in that monochrome. And we have jaw movement on that one as well. But he had nothing projected out of his mouth. This is it. But these figures are quite substantial. I mean, they're very heavy and robust. And you're not afraid to move them around. And you know, where you move them, they will stay, which is great. And he's got a very articulated tail. Lots of joints there, as you can see. Everything is a joint. And I see this is an earlier one, but I'm sure there's probably an earlier one than this. But as you go, you can see there's probably going to be less joints in these tails, is what I'm discovering. Right now, as we speak, I'm discovering that. So this one's just about every ring on this one is a joint. Quite expensive to manufacture. This one here, you have a joint here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 joints over, you have another joint. Another 5 joints over, you have another joint. So you could see where they start to, you know, lower the cost of manufacturing. And it has a little bit of an unnatural look. But you know what? It's okay. At least the joints are still tight. In comparison, his projectile fell out of his mouth. I think these two, because of the projectile in the mouth, are going to be, and the year they were manufactured. I believe they came out in the same line. Same year, same wave, are going to be closest to each other. But this one, of course, being more streamlined from the 2016 movie Shin Godzilla. His arms are much smaller. His legs are more beefy and more streamlined down towards the foot. And, of course, his tail is just a killing machine. And he looks more ferocious in the face. He really does. But this one is still carrying on that. This was probably a look from the 1960s is what I'm guessing. I'm not sure about that. I remember watching a lot of Godzilla movies, but I don't know what Godzilla looked like what. I've never been that observant. But this one here is unforgettable. You know that's a 1950s Godzilla. This is definitely a karate guy in a Godzilla costume. Very nice. Do I recommend the Neca Godzilla line? Absolutely. You know, this takes you back to your childhood. Again, on that Saturday afternoon when there's nothing to do, on one of those UHF channels, you get to find a very overdubbed Japanese Godzilla movie. You know? So, yeah, I highly recommend it. Just waiting for somebody to come out with the Kong versions, the King Kong versions to these things. Or maybe Rodan. Or Gamma. I haven't found those yet. It'll be very nice to do so. I love sci-fi monsters from the 50s and 60s. This is very cool. So yeah, that's been my look at the 2001 Atomic Blast Godzilla from NECA. Very cool. If you're into Godzilla, this is a must-have. Howlin' Wolf out.